Breaker ready to radio. Shit, come on, brother.
Like where you want to eat that night.
You know, like, because people are going to use it for that as well.
Yeah, you know, I actually think it'll be a lot better on that because
Really?
right now, because I mean, right now we have our phones, but we're like, you know, it's like you're, like it takes you away from like the physical environment around you.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of like sucked into this little screen. I think now in the future, our computing platform, as it becomes more of like a glasses or eventually contact lens form factor, is you're going to actually the internet is going to get overlaid on the physical world. So it's not like we have the physical world and now I have all my digital stuff through this tiny little window. In the future, it'll be, okay, all my attention goes to the world. The world consists of physical things and virtual things that are overlaid on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if we wanted to, you know, play poker or something, you know, it's you know, we could have a physical deck of cards, or we could just have a virtual kind of hologram deck of cards and snap your hands. Here's the deck of cards, and like our friend who can't be here physically, like he's here as a hologram, but he can play with the kind of digital deck of cards. Also, I think, you know, let's say you're like doing something at work, you're working on a project. I think in the future we'll have AI coworkers. Those people won't even, they're not even people. They wouldn't be able to be embodied. So if you're having a physical meeting, you're sitting around with a bunch of people, they couldn't show up as like, you know, part of the team no matter what. But I think like we'll get to a point where just like your friend can show up in a hologram, and like your AI colleagues will be able to also. So I think like we'll basically be in this wild world where it's like most of the world will be physical. There'll be this increasing amount of like virtual objects or people who are kind of beaming in or like hologramming into different things to interact in different ways. And I actually think that natural blending of the kind of digital world and the physical is way more natural than this segmentation that we have today, where it's like you're in the physical world, and I'm just going to go tune it out to like my like I'm going to access the whole digital universe through this like 5-inch screen.
Right.
So I'm not. It seems natural to me. It's like this is the world. There isn't like a physical world and a digital world anymore. We're in 2025. It's the world. Like these things should be fun.
God, that's such a great concept, but it's true. I mean, that's where we're headed. We're certainly headed into deeper and deeper integration. It's not
it. You watch it and you're consuming it, but I think a lot of more entertainment in the future will be inherently interactive, where someone will kind of scope an experience or AI, and then they'll show someone like, oh, this is funny, but like, it's not necessarily going to interact with that AI every day. It's like it's funny for 5 minutes when you pass it along to your friends. So I don't know. I think like people want the world to have all these different things, and I think that's probably also, from my perspective, the best way to make sure that it doesn't get out of control, to make it so that it's pretty equally distributed.
I think the problem that people have with it is not even whether or not it gets distributed, it's that it becomes sentient and it goes on its own. The fear that people have, the general fear when they think of obsolete, is that human beings are essentially creating a superior version of higher intelligence that will and connected to nuclear reactors. It's going to have like this ungodly ability to, well, first of all, they've already shown that AI has learned code. There's things that OpenAI said.
Oh yeah.
They're learning how to code their own AI.
I think this year, probably 2025, we at Meta, as well as the other companies that are basically working on this, are going to have an AI that will effectively be a sort of mid-level engineer that you have at your company that can write code. And once you have that, then in the beginning it'll be really expensive to run, then you can just be more efficient, and then over time we'll get to the point where a lot of the code in our apps and including the AI that we generate is actually going to be built by AI engineers instead of people engineers. But I don't know. I think that that'll augment the people. And so my view on this is like the future of people are just going to be so much more creative and they're going to be freed up to do kind of crazy things. It goes back to my daughter was like working with Legos before and we kind of ran out of Legos. And then now she can really craft, she can build whatever she wants and it's so much better. It's just that because the future brings new stuff that she can buy.
Another concern that people have is that it's going to eliminate a lot of jobs.
I think it's too early to know exactly how it plays out, but my guess is that it'll probably create more creative jobs than it well, I guess if you look at it, my understanding is like 100 years ago, I don't know if it was 100 or 150 years ago, but it was like at some point not too far along in the grand scheme of things, like the vast majority of people in society were farmers, right? Because they kind of needed to be in order to create enough food for everyone to survive. And then we turned that into like an industrial process, and now it's like 2% of society are farmers, and we get all the food that we need. So what did that free up everyone else to do? Well, some of them went on to do other things that are sort of like creative pursuits or cultural pursuits or other jobs. And then some percent of it just went towards recreation, right? So I think generally people just don't work as many hours today as they did back when everyone needed to farm in order to have enough food for everyone to survive. So I think that trend is sort of played out as technology has grown. And so my guess is that like the percent of people who will be doing stuff that's like physically required for humanity to survive will get to be smaller and smaller as it has. More people will dedicate themselves to kind of creative and artistic and cultural pursuits. I think that's generally good. I think the number of hours in a week that someone will have to work in order to be able to get by will probably continue to shrink. Yet I think people who are super engaged in what they do are going to be able to work really hard and accomplish way more than they ever could before because they have some like this unimaginable leverage from having a lot more technology. So I think that if you just like fast forwarded or extrapolated out the historical technological trend is what you'd get. I think the question is what you raised, which is this qualitatively a different type of thing that somehow obsoletes people? But I just think when you're asking that, it's just important to remind ourselves that like in every step along the way of human progress and technology, people thought that the technology that we were developing was I would guess that what'll happen is that the technology will get integrated into like everything that we do, which again is why I think it's really important that it's open source and that it's widely available, so that way it's not just like one company or one government kind of monopolizing the whole thing. And I guess that if we do it in that way, we'll all just kind of have superpowers. Is my guess. Rather